What is happening, guys? My name is Yusuf Zad. Welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to be talking about cheesecake. That's right, you heard me correct. In this video we're going to be talking about Cheesecake Factory, the restaurant, and should you be buying the stocks. As of right now, it's a crazy time with the whole crazy epidemic that is going around with the coronavirus, with the stock market, with all the bad news that is happening around. I think it would be a great time to talk about something sweet, and definitely Cheesecake Factory is one of the things that I wanted to talk about, just because one of my friends basically texted me today and he wanted to talk about how he's investing into the stock market in Cheesecake Factory, and I thought, man, that's a great idea. Let's talk about cheesecake. So stay tuned, we're gonna talk about cheesecake. See you in a minute. Alright people, welcome back, and today I wanted to talk about cheesecake. And I was going around, I was looking for an idea to basically make a video for you guys, but I wanted to have a quality in my video. I really wanted to have some value in the video for you guys, just because I don't want to come out there, make a video for you guys and there's no basically value in it. And since right now there's a lot of the people that are talking about Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, but nobody is really talking about basically the restaurant sector of the stock market. And I think there's a lot of great opportunities out there for you guys to start investing into the restaurants, just because right now it's the times that basically our people are not eating out, people are not going to the restaurants, and the stocks of these basically really good restaurants are crashing little by little. So I thought it would be a great time to actually start investing into one of my most favorite basically restaurants. And my very first restaurant that I invested into, which was a couple of months ago, actually right before the crash, it was Cheesecake Factory. And at the time it was about at the basically the highest point that it was, and it was about $42. And believe it or not, it was the time that I thought, man, I love Cheesecake Factory, I love their products, and I love how they run business. And they've been pretty steady in, becoming more successful and opening more doors in more states and more cities. But I always wanted to invest into it just because it was one of my favorite restaurants. And of course, the minute I invested into it, everything went down by 50%. And if you actually look at the 3-month chart, right now it's about 1925, and it's literally down 50% compared to 3 months ago, and which is an insane opportunity for someone who's willing to start investing into the stock market and into something like basically Cheesecake Factory, which is a very well-known restaurant. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about Cheesecake Factory is they have been around for many years, since 1972, and I think they're one of those restaurants that they're very solid in operating their business and they know what they're doing. And not only it's a good stock and it's a good time to invest into this basically business, I think is one of the other things that caught my attention was basically the dividend yield that they're giving, which is 7.69, which is insane. Usually between 2 to 4% is like a great amount, and a lot of the basically people who are dividend investors, they love investing into something like that. But something like basically cheesecake that it's giving you 7.69 dividend score, I think it's a great stock to be able to invest your money into, just because not only in few months, or I would say 6 months to a year, it's gonna go back up again where it was as soon as we find a vaccine and cure and basically medication for corona. It's gonna basically give you all that dividend as well too. And right now at 1925, it's basically half off, and it's a great time to actually start investing into it. And if you look about a year mark, it's actually down about 59%. And one of the things that I love about it, that you can see a market cap of about $851 million, which I think is a great time to invest into it, just because it's a massive restaurant company. I know it's not McDonald's, Domino's, Papa John's, or a lot of the other basically restaurant, but I think it's one of those restaurants that it's a great opportunity to invest into it right now, just because it's a great timing right now. And for the past day on basically today, it kind of went up a little bit, close to 2-3% it went up. So it went up roughly about 50 cents for the past day or two, from 1875 to 1925. And still, I think it's a great buy. And one of the great news that just happened for them, and an equity firm, they just invested more than $200 million in them just to help them open up more doors and basically be able to make them even bigger as a chain. And the Rorok Capital Investment was the company that basically invested the $200 million into the company. And I think the little surge that we saw, for the 3 to 4% surge that we saw, it was because of the news that basically we saw that this company invested $200 million in there. But I think it's one of the companies that basically not many people talk about it, and I think it's a great time to invest into it. If you go through the analyst rating for the Robinhood, it's basically telling you to buy 23%, hold 68%, and sell 9%. I kind of love Robinhood's rating, but sometimes I feel like they're not so accurate and they're not so up to date, or they're not the best to basically judge on it. I think you should really do your own diligence, and you should really take the time to invest your time into learning and understanding the platform and basically the stock market, and learning and basically studying about the market or whichever stock that you're basically putting your money into. So it's great for you to actually study those. But since I'm a gold member of the Robinhood, it gives me one of these like a rating. So it's basically 23% green. It's telling me to buy the stock, and I think I would agree with this, that it's a great time to buy this stock right now, just because, you know, they've been really good. Steady with their basically their actuals of how much money that they've been earnings, and the earning reports have been really good. The volume that we saw today, it was about they do have an average volume of 4.12 million trades for the past few days, and I think it's still great. And I think Mr. Overton, the CEO, has been doing a great job in keeping the company in a way that it's still a trendy restaurant. And it's definitely not your top-notch high-end restaurant, but at the same time, it's not your really the lower base restaurant. It's a quality restaurant that many people go to, and there's a lot of places that you can go to. In here in Las Vegas, we have 2-3 different basically branches that you can go to, and I think they're great. Their food is amazing. The consistency of their quality of service, and I think food is pretty much identical to everywhere that you go to. So that's why I think it's a great time to actually invest into Cheesecake Factory. But just because everyone is automatically talking about a lot of the most famous basically stocks, I get sick and tired of hearing about Apple, Microsoft, AT&T, and a lot of the things that are basically obvious investment. A lot of the things that are out there in the stock market, they're not really obvious, and I think it's a great time to basically invest your time and knowledge into it to find something that it's a little bit great, a little bit better in terms of investing. And I think Cheesecake Factory is one of those that is basically one of my favorites as of now, just because basically you're buying the stock at half off. Not only you're getting a great value and it's basically oversold and it's a great time to invest it, but they give you also a great dividend that I think it's going to be a great time to actually, you know, keep your money in there. Even no matter how up and down it goes, it's going to give you a great return on your money. Plus, I think within the end of basically April, mid-May, we're gonna see more of reopening of the economy in a lot of the major cities and basically states, and that's gonna help to boost the stock market a little bit. So don't worry guys, please be patient. I know it's a rough time for a lot of the families. I know that a lot of the states start paying the extra $600 on the unemployment side of the basically the story, and it's a great news for those people who qualify for the unemployment. But I think again, it's a great time. If you have any money, even $100, it will buy you 4 or 5 of this stock right now, and I think you're gonna make a good earning out of this in a few months for your kids, for yourself, for your retirement, for any of that I think it belongs to you guys. Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you find value in this video. Hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know what is your favorite stock to invest into that is not so popular that everyone is talking about it right now. And also, hopefully I made value in this content for you guys and I earned your thumbs up. Please go ahead and leave me a comment again. Let me know what your favorite stock is right now to buy. Hopefully I see you guys in the next video, and ciao.